John, or Alex Wallace, and I'm the May Office Depot Senior of the Month.
John, or Alex as we all call him, is one of my best physics students that I've ever had. One of the great things about John is how hard he absolutely worked at physics, and how hard he worked now doing calculus, and how independently motivated and driven he is. One of the other great things about Alex is I've known him for a while as one of my best debaters as well. So he's really socially aware, he's really socially conscious, he is just a really, really mature and bright student, and the way he's able to take information and synthesize it together and really kind of like help his fellow students and kind of give back to the community make him kind of like an obvious choice for this.
So our teachers had entered us into a competition where we were supposed to solve for tomorrow and create a way that we can use STEM to create a system to make the school and the neighborhood and our community around us a better place. So we decided to do that by making walking safer. So we developed a way that using technology we can create a system like Google Maps that would suggest the safest route for people to take. And we were one of the 5 national winners, and we brought $140,000 of technology grants to the Academy of Palumbo, which is very much needed in the Philadelphia School District right now.
Another great thing about John is that he's able to really kind of motivate me and motivate our school to be just better teachers and like a better building. So he was one of the driving forces behind us getting a 3D printer and trying to bring that and integrate it into our curriculum. And he was one of the motivating forces behind kind of repurposing the entire room and turning it into a workshop that students can use to build and make things. So he's got a much larger impact on our building than I think he even really understands.
I nominated Alex because out of all 159 of my students, Alex has been my go-to guy in my AP Lit class. When I say my go-to guy, some of my students in that class don't feel very comfortable. They didn't want to be in AP Lit. But Alex is the student that no matter what question, no matter what poem, no matter what text we are analyzing in class, he always tries. And I call him, to myself, I call him my quiet storm, because sometimes Alex won't even raise his hand, and you might not know that he's really thinking or really thinking deeply about something. And then when I call on him, his answers are almost perfect. And I laugh, I smile when I say almost perfect, because that's the way I tell my students to think of our class. Our AP class is a class where you are to consider yourselves almost perfect. And if I had a student that really fit that, I would have to say Alex fits that.
So after I graduate next year, I'm going to college for mechanical engineering at University of Pittsburgh, and I'm excited it's kind of going to be an experience. I wanted to get out of the city and try something new, and I've heard a lot of people who really like Pitt, and I think I'm looking forward to it.
My favorite memory of Alex thus far is, I already mentioned that he's like my quiet storm. And sometimes Alex is pondering things in class, and one of the things I really love and appreciate about Alex is that when he doesn't quite understand something, or when he really needs to, for the teacher to explain something, or even if I've said something that might have been incorrect, Alex is polite. Alex comes to you and, on a time when you might be, your off time or prep time, after school, before school, and he really helps you to think about something so that you can explain it to him in a different way that he might not have gotten it in class. And the reason why I appreciate that is because as an AP Lit teacher, I always have to think on the level of a college professor. And it really works for me when a student knows how to approach someone and say, I really need you to think about what you said to us in class yesterday. And Alex does just that. He is a very polite young man. He's very intellectual in his own right. And as a person that has taught on the college level, I could say that anyone who has the pleasure of teaching him, you're going to learn something, and you're going to appreciate having someone like him in class. And I have to say, we've been blessed at the Academy at Palumbo to actually have him here, and we're going to miss him.
I didn't know that I'd won it until they actually sent me the email that I won, and I didn't know that I'd been nominated even. And I felt really honored and proud that my teachers had selected me as a student who they thought deserved it, and I felt really humbled and really appreciative of my teachers for nominating me and saying such nice things about me. I want to thank all of the teachers that I've had through my entire educational career who have really inspired me, and I think especially coming to Palumbo, there have been a lot of teachers who definitely go out of their way to inspire you and to motivate you, and they're all really young and engaging, and Palumbo has been a great experience, and I really want to thank everyone at Palumbo for providing a unique experience to high school, and it was really great.
Zishan is truly a gifted student. You will see her dancing, instructing Zumba classes, choreographing school musicals, playing the piano, accompanying the Masterman singers, as well as the middle school choir, all while achieving a grade point average of 4.03 and taking 3 AP classes this year.
My name is Sean Letter. I'm a senior at Masterman High School and a good close friend of Zishan Haq. Zishan and I have been in classes together since 6th grade, and she has always been such a dynamic and excited member of the classroom, always participating in the class discussions, always wanting to bring in other people to share their opinions with the class. She's a very passionate student.
Zishan has a few models that I love. Live life to the fullest, even if you have setbacks. Do what you love to do. Zishan, when she puts forth to do things, she gives 200%. She loves entertaining at senior centers and really bringing them to life and making them happy and smiling. Her goal is to raise awareness and to help children fulfill their opportunities. This is what she loves to do. Zishan, congratulations. You will do some amazing things at University of Pennsylvania, and we're looking forward to seeing you do so much more. Congrats.
She's also very passionate about music, and we've been able to bond over the years through our participation in choir. She's our accompanist on the piano, and whenever we go to competitions, the judges always they start off their remarks after we perform with, "We should all give a round of applause to the accompanist because she always does such a fantastic job and she's so important to our group. We wouldn't be able to do as well as we do without Zishan."
I'm really excited to be winning because I've spent a lot of my life just really pushing myself really hard, and it's so great. It's such a great feeling to know that I'm finally being rewarded for everything that I've just been so passionate about doing. Music and dance have been such an important part of my life since I was at such a young age. Actually, my mom is a piano teacher. She's a third-generation piano teacher, and I got involved in playing the piano at a really young age. Dancing and piano just didn't become a part of an everyday activity, but they came my whole life and they became my passions. I couldn't imagine a life without me, dancing on the stage, playing the piano in front of people, because the greatest part about these two things is not just the rehearsals and the practice that go into it, but being able to somehow give something back to people, that when they're sitting in the audience and they see me on stage dancing or playing the piano, that I impart some of my own culture and some of my own knowledge on them, and you get this greater connection in the world. And what's also interesting is that my dad is a biochemist, so that's how I really also got involved in the sciences as well. But what I love about my background is the fact that my mom is actually Ukrainian and my dad is Bangladeshi. And so I'm part of this mixed marriage, but I've been so cultivated to believe in cultural awareness and cultural understanding, and a lot of my travels have been about going all over the world and hopefully trying to present this idea to people who really don't have exposure to the type of opportunities that I've been given. And so the places that I went to Ukraine, not only to help elderly citizens, but I also made my first piano debut there in the Kiev Conservatory, which was a phenomenal experience. And then just this past year, I actually traveled to Bangladesh. And as I mentioned before, my dad's from Bangladesh, so 50% of the journey was to get in touch with my roots, but the other 50% was also to understand the culture. And what happened is that when I went there, I was just so amazed by this unique, very unique culture that I had never really been exposed to that directly. And what happened is that while I was there, I knew that I couldn't leave. I knew I had to leave a part of me there. And so I joined an organization called Schools for Street Kids, which actually takes orphan children off the streets and provides them with the tools, the supplies, and the opportunities and education that is just so valuable to kids nowadays. And while I was there, I also had performed a series of charity concerts to benefit the women's empowerment movement. And that was also a phenomenal opportunity, being able to be there and participate with different leaders of the movement, and then forming this idea that I knew that I had to stay there and getting involved with the women and the boys at a younger age when they're children. And when I came back to the United States, I was given the title of Director of U.S. Operations, which to this day I'm continuously organizing charity events to help benefit children. I would like to thank my counselor for nominating me, and I'd also like to thank all of the teachers who have helped me build my education over the past years at Maastricht. And most importantly, I would love to thank my parents who have been there for me the whole time, throughout my whole life, and who have always pushed me to be determined and motivated about whatever I do and to carry it out 150%.